Hello there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. If you've not come across me before, if this is the first time you've stumbled upon me, then I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. So I demonstrate for Stampin' Up, a company that sells craft supplies from paper to glue to cardstock to ink to colouring implements, punches, dies, embellishments, you name it. They sell it. If it's got anything to do with paper crafting, then Stampin' Up is the place to go. So today I'm taking part in a YouTube hop. What the heck is that? A YouTube hop is where a group of us, and we're getting quite a big group now, have got together and we each make a video. And this month's theme, we do this once a month, this month's theme is DSP. We've all been ordering things from the new catalogue that went live at the beginning of June. And we are showcasing designer series paper, and all of the links to all of the other YouTube videos in this hop are in the description bar, so please work your way through them and you will be inspired. There are some extremely talented people in this group, so please have a look through and you're bound to find something that will inspire you. So I'm using the Playing with Patterns DSP. This is 6 by 6 inches. Let me show you some of the designs in there. So I'm going to be using this for a project today. Lots of lovely, bright colours, something for everybody. Show you what else I've got. Dots and lines. You know, it's patterns. I love that. I absolutely love that. Really, really pretty. I love the yellow and blue. Absolutely love it. That gorgeous green. Oranges, pinks, peaches, pinks, and lilacs, and blues and greens. Isn't it gorgeous? And that, I think, will suit cards for absolutely anybody. I love it. I'm going to endeavour to make 3 projects for you today. 2 is just paper folding and 1 of them is a card. So this is something that I made for the first time yesterday, and it's a phone holder. That's what it looks like when it's all put together. No glue at all. And you pop your phone in it like that. And if you like to watch things at night, whether it's watching YouTube videos or whether it's watching films or repeats of TV programmes, that sits perfectly in there. That's going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. And that's ideal. I struggle to sleep at night and I often put YouTube music on to help me just fall asleep. So that is what I'm going to be using that for, because I tend to have it plugged in my ear with this under my pillow. Not ideal whatsoever. Let me show you how absolutely easy that is to make. Take just a piece of that paper, go for something with no direction, which I think most of that has. And you are going to, let me show you how I do this, how I score it. I use my paper trimmer. I've already scored this just to save some time. So you score one side at 3 inches and then you turn it and you score the other side at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 4.5 inches. Okay? So on the side that has the 3 score lines, the first thing you're going to do is fold that in half. I mean, what you can actually do is just fold and burnish all of your score lines, but some go in other directions. So there's one of those. So this score line here, you'll fold that inwards. So that's been folded in, that's been folded in, and then this one is folded in like that. So what you should be looking at is the design that you want. If I wanted that design, then I would have folded everything the other way. And I need my bone folder, which I've put down somewhere. I need my bone folder to just burnish those. There it is. I'd actually put it away. And then the next thing that you're going to do is just fold that just both ways like that, because we need to just manipulate that. So that's what we start off with. The next thing you're going to do is take this corner here and you want this edge to meet this middle fold. I've got my window open and somebody's just decided to get a drill out. So it might go noisy in a minute. I might have to pause my video. And you're going to do the same that way as well. So just bring this corner up to this corner and make that folded edge meet that score line in the middle. And just take your time with this bit. If you've got quite weak hands, get somebody with stronger hands to give you a hand with this, but the bone folder makes it a lot easier. And then you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Now, I saw this idea on Pinterest. This is not my idea, this was on Pinterest. And I don't know if you find this sometimes. You see videos on Pinterest and they're so fast. And I spend ages just trying to decipher what the heck they're doing. So I'm not apologising at all for going really slowly on this, because if you want to make this, you want to see this work. I'm going to score that like that. So that's what you have. Two halves, each doing exactly the same thing, and you're going to do this twice. And I'll do it slowly so you can see it. You're going to fold that bit over like that. And then you're going to take this and you're going to push that. You've got that score line there. You're going to push that upwards. It's really difficult to do this slowly because then you kind of forget what you're doing. And you're going to push those in together like that. So they're going to meet like that. Now what we need to do is bring, it all gets a bit fiddly, but once you've done it once, you bring this up. So you open that out, push that together, and then tuck that in there like that, and carefully just manipulate it to go in like that. Okay, I'll do that again. So that's what we started off with. Open that up, push that score line up like that, so that that then meets all together like that. And then once you've got that, bring this out and tuck it in there. And it doesn't go anywhere. If you wanted to, you could glue that down. And I'm just going to just burnish that there, so it's going nowhere. And then we're going to do the same here. So bring this over, and you can open that out at that point. Push that score line up, holding it all together, pushing that so it meets. And just kind of pinch it. Lift this up, push that together, and push that in. Like that, and you can see that is going nowhere. Now if you didn't want to make a phone holder, you could make a boat. Now if you wanted to, you could glue those down. Fold it over, you're just turning it over, and then just push those together like that. How absolutely easy is that? Perfect. So there's your phone holder. I can make those all day, I love that. You could perhaps make a bird as well. Okay, yep, that's just getting a bit stupid, isn't it? Right, let's move that out of the way. The next thing I want to do is make a card. Now, just recently on Pinterest, I put a card up. I can't remember how long ago it was, a good couple of months ago. And I videoed myself just opening and closing it, and it went bonkers on Pinterest. I think so far it's had over 350,000 views. Because of that, my YouTube video showing you how to make it has had 3,500 views. I never get views like that. So yeah, I want to show you how to make it in case you've missed that. But I want to make it in this lovely bright colour. It was a very feminine card that I made before. So this one is a not so feminine card. It's gender neutral really. You could give this to anybody. Let me show you what you need. Now, I am going to write a blog post for this, and I will put the link in the description bar, but after the hop. Okay, so after this YouTube hop has died down a little bit, I'll make a blog post for this. You need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 10 3/4 by 5 7/8, and you will score at 5 7/8. And there's the base of your card. So you've just got that gap there. Okay. And then you're just going to take some pieces of this DSP. So I've got this lovely bright, just lovely, lovely bright. Isn't that gorgeous? And this measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'll stick all of this down in a second. So I want to put that on the inside. And then I'm going to flap that over because I just want that to be a big, big statement. Fold that over, and then this piece, you can either have that, and I'll probably change my mind several times now. Oh, do I want that or do I want that? Now I don't know. Oh, look at that. Can you see the possibilities? Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it, as to how the different things you could do. And this is now going off the kind of plan that I had. Right, I'm going with that because I love blue. So that measures 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. So that will sit on there like that. Then you have another piece of Whisper White cardstock. This measures 7 3/4 by 3 7/8, and you score on the long side at 3 7/8. And that is going to sit in there like that. And then I've got another piece of DSP. This measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and that sits in there like that. Okay, I think I've given that measurement incorrectly. That's 5 1/2 by 4 1/2, I think. No, I was right the first time. 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. I do apologise. Okay, so let's put this all together. That's going to go there. The other thing that I've done is I have die cut another piece of that, and I've die cut that using the Tasteful Label dies. Let me show you what die I used. I used that die to cut that out, but you've also got that one. Got other dies in here. Let me just quickly show you. Got those as well if you wanted a smaller sentiment. I love those dies, love them. And the other one that's in there, and I've got something in mind that I'm going to make with that, is then also a banner die as well. So if you like making labels, that's a really good buy, because if you were going to buy a number of punches, all of our different label punches, that would cost you a lot more than what those dies would cost. The blog post that I have to this will have links to all of the products. And so what I'm going to do is then stamp a sentiment on there, and I'm going to stamp that using Night of Navy ink. So I've got the ink, I've got an ink block, and all I have to do is choose a sentiment. So I'm going to use this one of my favourite sentiments. You'll see how often it gets used in a second as I open this. And there it is. It is the most stained stamp you'll ever see. We all have our favourites, and I'm going to stamp that right in the middle there. I don't want to put any flowers or anything on this because I just don't think it's that type of card. I think this is a card that just needs the patterns on it, and I think you'll agree that you can use this for anybody, even a child, with all those lovely patterns on there. Young, old, male, female, birthday, anniversary, anything, or just a card to say hello. I love yellow and blue, absolutely love it. Right, so the next thing I need to do is load this up. So let me show you how I'm going to put it together, and then I'll glue it off camera so you don't have to watch me gluing. So I'm going to put the bright one in there. So again, that measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I've got this piece here that measures 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then this square here that measures 3 3/4 square. And then I'll stick that bit on the top. And I'm going to use for that, I'm going to use liquid glue. So just that, so it's easier for it to manoeuvre it. So as if by magic, they are all stuck on, but what I want to show you here is on the back of this label, I'm just going to stick some dimensionals. I probably should have used big dimensionals, but I just checked and I don't have any. So these mini ones aren't really going to quite cut it for this great big label. But it's all I've got right now. So make sure that this is opening that way. That's important. And then put your label on. You can decorate the front of this however you like. And I think with this card, every card will look different. If you made a stack of these, every one would be different. So these are all glued on. I'm just going to get my bone folder and just distribute that glue there, which hasn't distributed very well, but it's going to get covered up, because what I'm going to do is I want to stick that there, but line it up with that. So that's how we're going to line it up, so that it opens like that. Now you need to choose your sentiment that's going to go in the middle. So it's up to you really to stamp that in there somewhere. So I need to go and find another sentiment. So I've chosen this one. This is one of my favourites at the moment, To a Friend That Makes Me Smile. This is from a new stamp set called Forever Fern. And this is lovely. I've used this a lot in my videos recently. Probably sick of seeing it, but I just think it's a really lovely sentiment. So on the ink block, load it up with ink just by tapping on it. If you've never stamped before, just a little tap. Don't need to press down hard or anything. And then kind of just keep my fingers crossed that I'm going to get this straight. If it doesn't, I'll have to cover it up with something. And it's difficult because I can't get my head over it. I'm just going to stamp it. Oh, that's okay, that's work. I'm literally going, before I do that, going, please let this be straight, please let it be straight. But I put it the wrong way round. No, I haven't. It can go that way. Just reinvented it. So you open that up. Oh, you got that there. Oh, we need something here. So you would write in that. Have I got myself out of that quick enough, do you think? Yeah, we've got ourselves out of that. I think I'm going to pick some flowers out of here. I know that this video is about DSP, but now I'm getting carried away because I love this stamp set. This is Beautiful Friendship. It's exactly that. It's beautiful. I've got these flowers, and I think because I've got that, and then that opens out like that. I meant to do that. I absolutely meant to do that. I'm going to put some flowers on it. These flowers are lovely. You see how they put a darker bit on one part of the flower and it's lighter on the others. So just tapping, twisting, but not hard. Otherwise it will be all over the place. And I think what I'm going to do, I've got a bit of ink on my block. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in the corner here. Like that. I don't often stamp flowers in blue, but I really love that. And then, I keep getting ink on the block. And then I'm going to put one up here. And I think I'll put one in the other corner as well. And actually, can't believe the noise my neighbour's making. I think with the way that the card is set up, it'd actually be easier to write something in there. That's my take on it anyway. So there's the inside of that. There's me saying, I don't want to put any flowers on it, and I've put flowers on it. So what I need to do is just make sure I've got that in the right position there, like that. And I need to put some glue on the back of this. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So just some glue on the back. And you just have to just be confident with this and just go with it and don't be scared of it. It's easier said than done, isn't it? So I've put glue on the back of that. And I'm just going to push that on there halfway. This will work if you do it this way, just halfway along like that. And then fold this over. Don't let it move. And push it down like that. Just be very careful doing that. I'm aware that I've got blue ink on my hands. Try not to get that on the card. So just while I'm waiting for that to set. So this is a card that I made, and I think it was just some inspiration I got from Pinterest. I just saw something similar and I started to put it together, and it looked nothing like the original that I'd seen. But I thought, oh no, actually I quite like that. I think I'd taken some bits off it somewhere. And I thought, I can't remember what it's called, couldn't find the original post. And I thought, oh, this is a flip-flop card, because you flip it open, you can write on that bit, ignore the ink mark, and flop it back. And it sits like that. So if someone's going to put that on their shelf, it sits like that. And it's just got lots and lots of lovely bright colours. And the possibilities with this DSP are endless, absolutely endless. You've got a lovely pop of colour. Got a lovely sentiment with a bit of flower. Don't have to use flowers. Isn't that sweet? So that's second project. Third project, let's see if this works. So I'm going to pick, and it's going to be a case of, can you guess what it is yet? I am starting off, if you've watched my videos before, you're going to guess straight away. I'm going to start with a piece of 6x6 DSP. And let's see how we're doing for time. 21 minutes. Let's see if we can get this done in a few minutes. So start off by folding your cardstock in half. Oh, not your cardstock, your DSP. And try and be as accurate with your folds as possible. And then you will fold it the other way. So you end up with the DSP like that. So it's a fold that way, a fold that way. The next thing you're going to do is bring in your edge to the middle, and then bring in your edge to the middle. Now, if you watch my videos a lot, I would love to know at which point in this video, at how many minutes did you go, yeah, I know what she's making. So when you've got that, you're going to turn it over. And you're going to bring in, well, what you're going to end up with, you've got this. That's what you've got. Okay, so that's what you need. This is the pattern of what you're making. This is the outside. Bring this into the middle. And you've got the lines there to match up. And as you start folding, the paper is going to start fighting with you. You just show it who's boss. Bring that up and fold it into the middle. And get your bone folder and score it. Or burnish it, really, that's what I should say. So the next thing you're going to do is fold it in half like that. Now all of this is going on inside, so it's just going to get a little bit cross with you. So just fold it. You see those all match there. Don't rush any of this. Just smooth it down. Just make sure all of those folds are folding where they should be. And just keep an eye on it. That's exactly what you want to see. Just give them a good burnish. So when it's like that, what you're going to do is this middle fold, it's got to come up about 1/2 inch. So push that in like that and just push it up. So it's about 1/2 inch. It's about, I think it's about 1 centimetre. It's not an exact science on that. It will also depend on the size of your paper. Okay, so that's what you have next. And the first time you do this, if you want to have a go, just do it with ordinary, like, cheap photocopy paper. So your bone fold, if you just kind of push that up into that corner gently, And what we're going to do is push this out, carefully push it out. And it will push that up there like that. This is where it starts to take shape. Okay. And you'll do the same on this side, so it always helps to get the bone folder up into the corner gently first and push that up. Just be careful, very, very careful, don't rush it. And get that fold in like that. I've had a few people, after they've seen a video of mine, I've had a few people that have messaged me showing a picture of what they've made, and they've said, "Oh my goodness, Donna, I loved making this." Okay, so there are those folds. At that point, you need to turn it over. So if you're looking at this, you're going to bring these, oh, I can't remember, no it's not. You've got a score line right down the middle, and you're going to bring that over into the score line. So just the first layer of that there into that score line. Do it one side and do it the other side. And then you open it up and you bring that forward like that. So bring that down and then start to squeeze those together. You might have to get the bone folder in there gently. Every time I say the bone folder, I say gently. And then push that down. Sometimes this doesn't go quite as you want it, but you don't actually see this bit. That could look a lot better, but it won't affect the finished product. So we've got that. Now the next thing I want to do is bring these two edges in, but it won't like it because of what we've got here. So what we're going to do, we bring this in and this part starts to come up. Bring it forward and then push that there and start to form that angle like that, so it comes down to a point. And then burnish that. Same on this side, bring this in, but what will happen is you can't because of that there, so you have to form an angle to bring that to a point, and just roll it and then it will come to a point. I'm sure you can guess what it is now. So on the back, you're going to move these out just till it gets to the corner. And then move that one out as well. And then, actually, I want that to go that way, sorry. From this side, bring that over as well. You won't be able to get the same angle. And then bring this one over. And there you have a little dress. Now with some really strong adhesive, you could stick that to a card. I've made lots of cards with these dresses. And what I do is I just push this up like that on the card, so that it gives you more of a 3D effect. So you glue this down, glue the corners down, and then push the pleats up. You can put some rhinestones on here. You can put some tiny buttons. You could make a few miniature ones. So this is on 6x6. I've tried it with 4x4. You do need a very robust bone folder for that. You could have a row of them hanging up with pegs. You know, I've got lots of these little pegs. These aren't Stampin' Up, these are from Little Craft Shop. You can stick them on there on a washing line. My goodness, you can do so much. I've done these in foil, I've done them in glimmer paper. I've made hundreds of these things, but they're a nice addition to your card. So there's a little bonus right at the end, and I wonder at what point you realised that I was making a dress. So there's my dress, there's my phone holder, There's my flip-flop card. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to go and watch all of the other YouTube videos in the hop, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.